Right, here we go. So this quick video is basically about something called the minimal effect dosage. And this is how this can help you from stop quitting. Now, the main reason people quit is one, because they focus on perfection and not progress. And I'd say the other one is because they've got an all or nothing mentality, which we hear this a lot of times with people where they say, "Oh, I'm all or nothing," which basically means that when shit gets hard, you're going to quit. So an all or nothing mentality is not good. So yeah, let's just go through a little journey. So I want to kind of relate it to the journey of the gym, but you could relate this to anything really. You could relate it to your life. But yeah, I'll relate it to gym life just because obviously this video is what I want to use to stop people quitting on themselves. So we start with his journey. Everything's going great. We're buzzing. It's new. There's some quick wins. Maybe you lose a few pounds. Maybe you perform an exercise at gym that you never felt were going to be possible for you. You meet some new pals. Endorphins are running. Dopamine's up. Everything. We're buzzing. We're enjoying the gym, and that normally is what happens in them first few months. Then inevitably, this happens with most clients. You have a slip or you hit a road bump. It could be something that's external. It could be an illness. You could become busy. There could be an holiday, um, kids, dog, whatever else. Something happens and you miss a week, or you have a little bit of a wobble mentally. Maybe your progress is slowing down. Maybe you just realize that this is going to be quite difficult and this is going to be quite hard, and that newness wears off. So, all these reasons, things happen. And what your brain tries to do then is protect you. Your brain, if we take it back to kind of caveman days, wants you to stay in that cave and draw pictures. It don't want you out there hunting. So it starts to justify things. So we move on to this kind of justify a little bit here. And it starts to justify them excuses in your head. Well, you know what? Like, before I went to gym, I was happy. I was fine. I didn't have to worry about getting up early in the morning. I could have a lie in. I didn't have to think about after work, going to gym. I could just get on settee, and that were easy and that were better. And it starts to create this story in your mind to go into that protection mode. So it starts to kind of justify it by kind of saying things like, "Oh, you know what? I don't see kids anymore on a Tuesday, or my partner has to do this," and you start to create this excuse basically in your own mind as to why quitting is the best option. And this is where I want to bring in minimal effect dosage. Because what's happening here is that you start to say things like, "I can't go to gym 3 times a week. I can't do 10,000 steps. I can't keep up with this diet." And it's probably because you've gone too hard too soon, or just not realized that you don't have to be perfect all the time. So, minimum effect dosage is basically where you look at it and say, instead of quitting on myself and going to that nothing, I'm going to start to do something. And it might just be a temporary thing for a few weeks just to get back on track or overcome the obstacle that's in front of you, like being busy with work or been away on holidays, bank holidays, whatever it might be. So minimal effect dosage looks like, instead of doing 10k steps a day like I have been doing, instead of just not doing steps anymore, maybe I'm just better doing 5k or 6k steps a day. And it keeps that routine. With gym, it might be, "Oh, you know what? I've been really consistent with 3 sessions, but work's got a little bit mental, or home life's got a little bit mental. Maybe if for this month I just do 2 sessions a day and stay in the game and keep that routine. And then when things die down after Christmas, after summer, whatever it might be, I can go back to going to 3 sessions." But ultimately, it keeps me in the game. It's a minimal effect dosage, and that helps in keeping you at it. And it's all about keeping that progress and not trying to be perfect. It's about stopping the on off mentality. So rather than just have 2 months off that lead to you quitting gym and then having to rejoin again in 3 months, which is inevitable because you're not going to be where you want to be, it keeps you in the game for that month and gets you 8 sessions in. Do you understand that? And then you can get back to 12 or 16 sessions or whatever you want to do that keeps you where you need to be at optimal. So it's really good because what it kind of shows you is it's not about speed. It's not about speed, it's about direction. And as long as you're pointing the right way and your actions are pushing you further towards where you want to be, you can reset, recalibrate, and continue. And when you reset, so I've got some notes, reset and continue, you ultimately go, you know what, this might take me longer to get to where I want to be, but that is okay. Because like I said, it's not about speed, it's not a race, it's a process. It's not a destination all the time. It's following the process and learning to enjoy that. And if you're at it 100 mile an hour and being critical of yourself and kind of berating yourself for not being where you should be, whatever that looks like, that's just crazy that people have these expectations. You can zoom out, look at your progress, and enjoy the journey instead of it being this big kind of difficult process that you've put on yourself because you've created these crazy expectations. So I think what you then understand when you reset and you continue is that it's going to be a little bit difficult, but it's valuable. And you attach them values to something else, something like who you want to become, instead of seeing success as losing 10 pounds. So I think that's the really important part. And this minimal effect dosage really helps you overcome setbacks and build resilience and kind of see that it is the process that's important. And that is how you can ultimately win. So, a few key points. Everybody struggles. It's normal. I always say this, we've never had a client who just smashes it and has an easy journey. Every person has barriers to overcome. Everybody gets challenged by life. It's not like you just suddenly become this person who goes to the gym and life gets easier. It's about progress, not perfection. I get fed up of saying this. I say it so many times, but if you try and be perfect, you're going to fall into trap of all or nothing. Progress is never linear. It's not like you just kind of, you achieve this, you achieve, it's not that easy. There's going to be bumps in the road. All or something, not all or nothing. So that's where we talk about this minimal effect dosage for the win. Sometimes you need to take a step back. Things happen in life, you go through these phases, but rather than quitting on yourself, apply the minimal effect dosage, kind of keep on tracking, keep on going. You'll still keep progressing through that minimal effect dosage anyway, and then be ready for that stage where you can go again. Okay, so see it in phases and not just one big straight line to success. Good. I hope that helps people, and I hope it stops people quitting on themselves. Because if you quit, you're going to have to restart again at some point. Okay? So instead of trying to be perfect, let's apply this minimal effect dosage and let's kind of understand that it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. Let's go.